Okay, can you hear me, students? Is my voice is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, so I think we have completed till Coulomb's law. Okay. Okay. So today we are going to start electric lines of force. So in the earlier class, I have showed you a picture of electric field, right? For positive charge and negative charge. So in that picture, we can see some lines. Okay, let me show you again that picture. Okay. Okay, see in this picture, it is a electric field for a positive charge and it is a electric field for negative charge. So these lines are taken. These lines are actually called electric field lines. We can see as we go away from the source charge, the lines are going away from each other, right? The distance between the lines is more as we go away from the electric from the source charge. That means in that areas electric field is less, and here we can see the lines are closer to each other. That means in these areas electric field is more. So I have already told you that we considered these charges as source charge, and we take a unit positive charge to check the electric field of the source charges. That positive point charge is called test charge. So here this is the electric field lines for a uh, positive source charge when we check with a unit positive test charge. Okay, so we can see as we go away from the uh, electric source charge, the distance between the uh, field lines are more. As you come closer to the source charge, the distance between the field lines are less. So in this kind of areas electric field is more, and as we go away this is electric field is less. We can see in case of a negative source charge also, but only difference is that the direction is different in those source charges, because we test it with the help of a unit positive charge, and for positive charge negative will always attract that charge. That's why it is inwards, and since positive charge will repel that positive point charge, that's why the direction is outwards. So these lines are called uh, electric field lines, and we can see that do as we go away from the points source charge, the distance between the uh, electric field lines are more. So we can establish a point that two electric field lines can never cross each other, because the distance will uh, as we go away from the sources distance will increase. That's why they can never cross each other. Okay. Electric lines of force or electric field lines. Electric field lines is an imaginary continuous line in an electric field such that tangent to it at any point given the direction of electric force at that point. The direction of lines of force is the direction along which a small free positive charge will move along the line. So direction of electric field is same as a unit positive charge in the particular electric field. So these lines are actually imaginary lines. They are imaginary lines in that electric field. Okay. So these are the properties of electric lines of force or electric field lines. Electric lines of force originate from a positive charge and terminate on a negative charge. Originate from a positive charge means for a positive charge it is the direction of electric field lines is outwards, and for a negative charge direction of electric field lines is inwards. So we can say electric field lines originate from positive charge and terminate on a negative charge. The number of field lines originating or terminating on a charge is proportional to the magnitude of the charge. So if for a electric charge field lines are more, then we can say that the magnitude of the charge is more, and if for a electric charge field lines are less, then we can say that the magnitude of that charge is less. So number of field lines depends on the magnitude of the charge. The number of field lines passing through a particular area will be proportional to the magnitude of the electric field there. So if any particular area number of field lines is higher, that means in that area electric field is high. If number of field lines is less, then electric field is low. Two or more field lines can never intersect each other, or they cannot have multiple directions. So two or more field lines can never intersect each other because they are always goes away from each other. They can as with the distance they goes away from each other, go away from each other. So we can the gap between two field lines become larger as we go away from the source. So two or more field lines can never intersect each other. Uniform field lines straight, parallel and uniformly placed. So if any area, if we say that electric field is uniform in that area, that means the field lines will become
Ma'am,
straight.
can you repeat?
Who is this? Balu, you have always problem with your network. Why is that?
Yes, ma'am. I
You
don't know, ma'am. My network is up downing, ma'am.
you should find an area na, where network is good. Others, can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
मैम मैं
ma'am.
नोट्स को दीदी
Okay. Okay, so two or more field lines can never intersect each other, and for a uniform field line straight parallel and uniformly placed. Field lines cannot form a loop, or field lines cannot have circular direction. Okay, they cannot form a loop or circle. Field lines always flow from higher potential to lower potential. In a region electric field absent, then there will be no field lines. Of course, if there is no electric field lines, there cannot, though if there is no electric field, there cannot be electric field lines. Okay, so next topic is electrostatic potential. So if we bring a unit positive charge from infinity to a particular point in an electric field, then we have to uh, apply some work, right, to keep that keep that charge in that particular point. Let's, for example, let's see, we are taking a electric field for a positive source charge. Okay, we are taking a electric field. Okay, let me again explain you in the picture. Okay, see, in that picture it is a, okay, so it is the electric field lines or electric field for a positive source charge, right? So let us take a unit positive charge which is initially at infinity. Infinity means beyond is electric field area. Okay, so initially the point charge is at infinity. So when we bring that positive charge to a particular point in that electric field, say at this point we bring the positive unit positive charge from infinity to this point, right? So to keep it that to keep the unit positive charge at this point, we have to apply some work done, right, to bring the charge from infinity to this point. We need work done because when we put the charge at this point, because of the positive source charge, it will get repelled. So uh, to keep the positive charge in that point, we have to continuously apply some work, right, to keep it is in this point. So that work done is called electrical potential. Okay, so electrical potential means the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in an electric field. Suppose in case of this negative charge, suppose initially the negative, in case of this negative source charge, suppose initially the test charge is at infinity. So we bring the test charge from infinity to this point. But we can, if you don't apply any kind of work, we cannot keep the point. We cannot keep the point charge at this point because it will get attracted towards the negative charge, right? So to keep that point charge in this position, we have to apply some work done. So that work done will be electrical potential. So the definition of electrical potential is, it is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in an electric field. So work done by an external force in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point is called electrostatic potential at that point. So electrostatic potential can be different at different point. As, as we go closer to the source charge, electrostatic potential gets higher. As we go away from that source charge, the electrostatic potential gets lower, since we have to apply more work to put the point charge closer to the electrical closer to the source charge. So the potential difference, work done by an external force in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point is called electrostatic potential at that point. So electrostatic potential is defined by phi. Phi is for electrostatic potential. Now electrostatic potential difference. The potential difference between 2 points is equal to the work done per unit positive charge between 2 points. So if Va is the amount, if Va is the potential difference in bringing the charge from infinity to that point A, and if Pb is the potential difference in bringing the point charge from infinity to B, then work done by external force in bringing the unit positive charge from A to B is Va minus Vb, or work done by external force in bringing the charge from point A to point B to A. Okay, so here Pa is the uh, Va is the potential. Pa is the potential when we bring the point from infinity to A, and Vb is the potential when we bring the point from infinity to B. So from to move work done by external force in bringing the charge Q from B to A equal to Va minus Vb, Va minus Vb, or divided by, in terms of work done by external force in bringing the charge Q from B to A divided by Q. So here unit of potential difference is joule per coulomb. Since the work done, unit of work done is joule and unit of charge is coulomb, so therefore unit of potential difference is joule per coulomb. Electrical potential difference. The potential difference between 2 points is equal to the work done per unit positive charge between 2 points. Work done by external force bringing a positive charge from A to B, Va minus Vb. Okay. Electric potential is a scalar quantity. So I think we have discussed about electric field in the last class, that electric field is a area around a charged particle up to which it can attract or repel another charged particle, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So for electric field intensity is the force experienced by a unit positive charge at a particular point in that electric field. So which can be defined, since it is the force experienced by the unit positive charge at any point, therefore electric field intensity equal to F divided by Q. Okay, or E equal to K Q divided by R square. This Q should be capital Q for source charge. Okay, this Q should be capital Q, or we know the value of K, which is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square divided by Coulomb square. R is the distance from source charge of that positive test charge. Okay. Next topic is capacitor and capacitance. Capacitor is basically a object which stores charge or which stores energy. Okay, capacitor is basically a object which stores charge or energy, and when we needed the charge, it will provide it for any electrical device. So basically a capacitor is a device which stores electrical energy. In an capacitor there are two plates, one is positive plate and the other is negative plate, and they are separated by a insulator. A capacitor is a system of two conductors separated by a insulator. So there is a positive plate and negative plate. The positive plate has same amount of charge as the negative plate. So if we don't put a insulator in between the two plates, it will get attracted towards each other, right, since one is positive and other is negative. So we put a insulator in between the two plates. Okay, so since the positive plate has same amount of charge as the negative plate, so we say that the net charge of a capacitor is 0. The net charge of a capacitor is 0 since same amount of positive charge is and same amount of negative charge, therefore the net charge of a capacitor is 0. So this is the symbol for capacitor. If we draw a electrical circuit, if we have to put capacitor, we will use this symbol. Okay, this symbol is used for, we used to determine the capacitor or used to show capacitor. Okay, so there are three kinds of capacitor: parallel plate capacitor, spherical capacitor, and cylindrical capacitor. Types of capacitor. Next is capacitor. So we know the capacitance. So we know that the capacitor is a device which stores charge, and capacitance is its ability to store charge. So if the capacitance C equal to Q divided by V. Q is the total charge, and total charge which for negative and positive also total charge, and V is the potential difference. V is the potential difference in uh, between the potential difference in between the two plates, and therefore C capacitance equal to Q divided by V. So as we know that the potential difference depends on the magnitude of the charge, right? Q depends on V, directly depends on V. So we can say that Q directly proportional to V. So remove that proportionality sign, we use the constant C. So Q equal to CV. Sorry. Yes. Yes, Q equal to CV. Since Q is directly proportional to V and remove that proportionality sign, we put the constant C. So Q equal to CV and C equal to, and therefore C equal to Q by V. So if we have a blackboard, I can explain this. I hope you all understand that Q directly proportional to V, and when we put the proportionality constant C, Q equal to CV, and for to find the value of C equal to Q divided by V. That constant C is called capacitance of the capacitor. Okay, hence capacitance is the ability of the conductor to hold the charge. The unit of capacitance is farad. Unit of capacitance is farad. Okay, so write down a question. Define 1 farad capacitance. Define 1 farad capacitance. This is your homework. And if you know, you can tell me now. C equal to Q by V, right? Unit of C is farad, unit of Q is coulomb, and unit of V is volt. So the question is define 1 farad capacitance. Okay, that's all. If you have any question, you can ask and give your attendance.
Ma'am, notes.
I'll send you in a WhatsApp group.
Ma'am, can you repeat the first one?
Which one?
First one you.
First one.
First one topic.
First topic. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, first we discussed about electric lines of force is basically the imaginary lines which will determine the electric field. So in the picture we can see some lines when we for a positive source charge and for a negative source charge, right? So electric field lines of a force is electric line of force is imaginary continuous line in an electric field such that tangent to it at any given the direction of electric force at that point. So there are some imaginary lines coming from the electric charge. The direction of line of force is the direction along which a small positive charge will move along the line. So the direction of the electrical lines of force is same when we put a small unit positive charge in that electric field. So these are the uh, properties of electric lines of force. They are electric lines of force originate from a positive charge and terminate on a negative charge. Number of field lines originating or terminating on a charge is proportional to the magnitude of the charge. If magnitude is more, field lines will be more. The number of field lines passing through a particular area will be proportional to the magnitude of electric field there. That means if the magnitude of magnetic field is greater, then field lines will be more. It will depend on the magnitude of number of field lines will depend on the magnitude of electric field. Two or more field lines can never intersect each other, or they cannot have multiple directions, since they always go away from each other as we go away from the source. Therefore they cannot intersect each other. Uniform field lines, straight, parallel and uniformly placed. Field lines cannot form a loop. Field lines always flow from higher potential to lower potential, and in the absence of electric field lines is zero. Okay, give your attendance and you can leave the meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.